What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the Bears Den. Today we're going to be discussing and assessing the three rookie starting quarterbacks through the first 3 weeks of the season, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and kind of doing like a soft ranking of where I think these three quarterbacks are at through 3 weeks. Let's get into it. All right, hey guys, how we doing today? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host Alex, and today we're going to be talking a bit about how I want to assess these three rookie quarterbacks through the first 3 weeks of play. I think that both have shown, or all three have shown some promise in certain areas. I think that there's been some rookie mistakes. But I also think that the media is going to kind of unjustly be, ranking and like rating these quarterback plays. But I think that we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. So I guess first off, we can look at the stats for the three quarterbacks, right? If we look at the stats for the three quarterbacks, we'll start with Jayden Daniels, okay? And what you really want to see with these rookie quarterbacks is you want to see improvement in every single game. And with Jayden Daniels, that's evident. There's a case that Jayden Daniels has had the strongest season so far, right? That's, what a lot of the media is talking about too, right? So week 1, 71% completion percentage, 184 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 93 rating. And they lost that game. Week 2 against the Giants, 80% completion percentage, so an improvement, 226 passing yards, an improvement, no touchdowns, no picks, 99 rating. So he improved. And then last night, obviously, 91.3% completion percentage, which is an all-time rookie record for a single game, which is fantastic. Hats off to him. He only had 2 incompletions last night. 254 passing yards, he had a couple great deep throws, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 141.7 rating. This is statistically the best game by any of the rookie quarterbacks so far. Really strong numbers, really great debut, and those are promising numbers. We'll go to Caleb next. Week 1, 48.3% completion percentage, 93 passing yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 55.7 rating. Week 2 on the road against Houston, 62% completion percentage, 174 passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 51 rating. So the rating went down a little bit, but the passing yards, the completion percentage went up. And then this past week against the Colts on the road, 63.5% completion percentage, 363 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 80.8 rating. So he improved, right? The passing yards have doubled week upon week, and Caleb threw for 2 touchdown passes, and he's the only rookie quarterback to have thrown for a touchdown so far this year. And then we'll go to Bo Nix. 62% completion percentage, 138 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, 47.5 rating. Week 2 at home against Pittsburgh, 57.1% completion percentage, so the completion percentage went down a little bit. The yardage went up, 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, 55.2 rating. So once again, similar game. And then this past week against Tampa, 69.4% completion percentage, 216 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 85 rating. They won that game. So Bo and Caleb are 1-2 on the season, and Jayden Daniels is 2-1. And so, looking at the stats, it seems as if Jayden Daniels is the, maybe the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's clearly the best quarterback out of the rookie class so far through 3 games. And you can see Bo Nix has 600 yards in the season, Caleb has 630, and Jayden Daniels has 664. And while I think there's an argument to be made that Jayden Daniels has performed the best so far, I'm going to tell you why I don't think that's actually true. I think that Jayden Daniels is benefiting from a really solid offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury, one that I was hoping that the Bears would have hired this offseason, since we knew that we were going to take Caleb after we traded Justin Fields. And I know Shane was hired before that, but I think it was pretty evident that they were going to go with Caleb, and Cliff Kingsbury working at USC would have been a real nice aspect of continuity. And I think that would have been a really good mesh. Jayden Daniels got him in Washington, and I think that he's benefiting from that. But I want to look through um, really the passing charts for this week. And we're going to look at Caleb passing chart first, and I'm going to actually switch it to there so I'm not in the way. So this is Caleb's week 3 passing chart. 33 of 52, 52 pass attempts this week, which is hilarious considering the fact that the Bears were playing against the worst rushing defense in the league. It's funny that, the Bears would ask Caleb Williams to drop back 52 times, but that's a story for a different day. 363 yards, we talked about this, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, okay? Here's his passing chart. And what we see in this passing chart is a lot of what looks like NFL offense, NFL quarterbacking. The ball is getting dispersed around the field. You have your deep shots, lots of deep attempts, 2 40-yard plus completions, which I think is absolutely huge. Obviously you have the pick over here where he was late on the out route, and you have the pick here where, just was an unlucky play. It was an aggressive throw, one that I'm glad he took, and I hope that the Bears don't coach him, out of taking and making those throws, because the ball hit Rome in the chest. The defender just happened to make a good play, and it unluckily bounced to the defender. Happened to be a pick. That happens. The defense gets paid to make plays too. But what we're seeing here is an NFL offense where, a couple plays behind the line of scrimmage, lots all over the field within the 10-yard line. Then we start, expanding out a little bit, taking the deep shots, and we're hitting on some of the deep passes, right? That's NFL quarterbacking, in my opinion. And this is extremely promising. Even though the Bears lost the one-score game to Indy, this is promising. And it's promising because he's making reads. He's not just staring down guys. He not only attack one side of the field. If you guys remember back in 2017, 2018, there were concerns with Mitch Trubisky that he couldn't throw to the left side of the hashes, that he couldn't throw to the left side of the field. He was extremely accurate at throwing to the right, but when it came to the left, he missed a lot of throws. He would turn the ball over to the left and so on. We don't see that here. Yes, both the turnovers are on the left, but we're not seeing an offense catered to one side of the field. It's evenly split, and it's evenly split down the field as well, which really, really like to see. That's extremely promising. Then we move to Bo Nix's chart for week 3. Okay, 25-36, we talked about it, 216 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. We're seeing a lot of congestion over on the left. Not as many plays from behind the line of scrimmage as Caleb, which, whether that's Caleb or that's Shane Waldron for the Bears, who knows. But a lot of quick, check downs, underneath throws, only three throws, excuse me, past 20 yards, right? Only 3 attempts, completed 2 of them. No real deep bombs at all, nothing past 25 yards, and very rare throws over the middle, right? By the hashes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 throws, you could say, by the hashes. So this is a little bit of a different look. And to me, this is a bit more of a rookie quarterback look where, perhaps he's not seeing things down the field. Perhaps Sean Payton is calling, things underneath to kind of help and get him easy completions, which there's nothing wrong with that. He's a rookie in his 3rd game, but, there's definitely a pattern in Bo Nix's game, at least this past week, compared to Caleb's, where the ball is thrown all over the place. And Caleb obviously had, 16 more attempts, but you see a lot of congestion over here, right? And then we go to Jayden Daniels week 3. 21 of 23, 254, 2 touchdowns. But what do we see here? What stands out here? And this is where I think the media is not going to discuss this. They're going to just look at the box score. They're going to look at the stats. And look, he did what he did. He played a clean game. He didn't turn the ball over. Had a couple great throws. And he got his team to win, right? So you can never go after a guy for that. But my concern looking at this is this sustainable? Is this a sustainable offense? He's got the 147, 48-yard throw. He's got the, 38-yard touchdown, which was a beautiful ball in a huge moment to Terry McLaurin. the 130-yard attempt. But other than that, what are we seeing here? I mean, 23 attempts, and he's got 5 throws to the left of the hash. And one of the concerns coming out with Jayden Daniels was in college, he didn't throw over the middle of the field. He couldn't throw over the middle of the field. What are we seeing so far? And perhaps that's, Cliff Kingsbury knowing that and calling plays where, he doesn't have to do that. And, props to both of them if that's the case. But while this is working now, my concern with Jayden Daniels is when more film comes out, this isn't going to be sustainable. This is not going to be a sustainable way to play offense anymore. And I see a completion over here that I missed, 26-yard or incompletion that I missed. It's kind of hiding on the sideline. But this is not sustainable moving forward for long, in my opinion. And so while I'm not trying to take anything away from his performance, I think he played a brilliant game last night. It was the Bengals Commanders game, the first game since 1940 where neither team punted or had a turnover. Absolutely brilliant offensive performance. When I saw this last night, I was shocked because it didn't seem like this when I was watching the game. But compared to the other two quarterbacks, the game plan is very, very clear with what they're trying to do with Jayden Daniels. And my concern is, can he not throw to the left? Granted, he completed every pass he threw to the left except for the one that went out of bounds. He completed every single pass, and one of them was a touchdown to his lineman. But as film rolls out and teams get to study more, what's this going to look like? And out of curiosity, I'm just going to go ahead and live now, and I'm curious to look at his passing charts through the other 2 weeks. We look at the week 1 passing chart. And this one doesn't really mean too much because this is the debut. This is the first start. Pretty much everything's under 10 yards. You got the one deep attempt, but everything else is under 10 yards except for these 2 throws as well. Which, that makes sense for a rookie's debut. And then if you go to the week 2, a lot behind the line of scrimmage. But this one's looking a little bit better, right? But still, throws in between the hashes, there's nothing, right? There's nothing for Bo Nix. There's really nothing for Caleb, too, right? The throws inside the numbers, ton for Caleb. Not too many for Bo Nix, some. And then, yeah. So it's really interesting to kind of look at. I think that, if we were to sit here and evaluate these quarterbacks based off box score, Jayden Daniels is obviously the best one so far. But I think that after watching these guys play, I think, and, call me biased, call me a Bears fan, call me whatever you want, I think that Caleb is looking the most NFL ready. I think that, there's some aspects that, of course, need to be cleaned up, but I think the way that Caleb is identifying coverages and changing plays if he needs to and dispersing the ball all across the field, it's really, really important and it's promising. And I think that Jayden Daniels is looking very, very good as well. And so if I had to rank the 3 of them right now, I would have Bo Nix at 3. I would put Jayden Daniels at 2, only because this week 3 passing chart, I'm concerned with the game moving forward. And then I would put Caleb at number 1 because look, a lot of the media likes to bring up the records this week too. Oh, Jayden Daniels has 2 wins. Caleb and Bo Nix are 1 and 2. Yeah, it's a team game. It's a team game, right? And watching Jayden Daniels play last night, he gets some pretty pockets to throw from. And I'm jealous as a Bears fan, right? They have a solid offensive line. He gets time to throw. And, he's got that mobility. And when the pocket breaks down, he can move. But there's plays with Jayden Daniels that I'm seeing that are, seemingly one read and go, where if his guy isn't open, he's running. Caleb, we see him stay in the pocket, sometimes too long, where he takes a sack, but he's trying to throw. He's not running. We've seen him scramble 2 or 3 times the whole season. And then Bo Nix has moved a little bit, right? But with Bo Nix, something that we haven't seen with Caleb and Jayden Daniels yet is questionable interceptions in the red zone. And of course, those are things that will happen to rookie quarterbacks. Those are things that are going to happen. And those are things that can be improved in time as he sees more looks and things like that. But that needs to be cleaned up for Bo Nix, right? We can't be turning the ball over in the red zone. You need to be able to get points, right? They always say end the drive with a kick. So whether that's a point after, whether that is a punt, kickoff, whatever, you don't want to end the drive by giving the other team the ball. So that's what he needs to work on. But all of these quarterbacks have shown positive signs, positive flashes, and it's a really fun quarterback class to watch. And, I think it would be really nice if we got to see Penix at some point this year. Perhaps if Kirk Cousins is struggling or whatever, or maybe, Atlanta gets up in a game so much that they decide to put Penix in, that would be really, really cool. But promising flashes from all three of the quarterbacks. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Go ahead and comment. Which one do you think is playing the best? Which one do you think is struggling, if any? And I love reading your guys' comments and getting back to you. Like, comment, subscribe really helps out the channel. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the month, end of September. We have a week left to do it. I think that we can. And follow me on Twitter at ShySportsAlex. Always tweeting about sports, always tweeting about football, always interacting with people on there. Would love to have you on there and chat about sports with you on there. And as for today's video, that's it. I appreciate you watching. Bear down as always, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.